on the buzz any second.
Oh, yeah.
We're live.
I tested out the new thumbnail today, Sam.
I like it. I saw it, like it. I hope everybody else liked it.
Voter approved.
Yeah.
It's 5 out of 10, so it's fine.
Not bad. Okay. We're live. I like how disappointed I look in the thumbnail.
That was the point, yeah.
I hovered over our most recent pod from Sunday, and like the preview thing that plays is you showing me Storyland, and I was so confused. What were we talking about with a roll?
What's the context on that?
So the context is I was talking about roller coasters, and I said I've been on one roller coaster in my life. Do you know Storyland? Do you know what Storyland is?
Yeah, I'm a little bit familiar with it.
So they have a roller coaster called the Polar Coaster, which is like a baby roller coaster. I rode it once when I was 8, got off, threw up, never been on a roller coaster since.
He knew at 8 years old. This is not the life for him.
It's just not. It's not a fan. Hello, Evan. Fist bump. Hello, hello. Oh, welcome back, Sam.
We went to Six Flags on a field trip when I was, I don't know, roughly 10 years old. And so, like, before we go on Superman, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And the counselor was like, you're going. Like, I can't supervise you and be on the ride. Like, you're coming on. So we go on, go through the ride. I was like, that was electric. Like, that was absolutely incredible. He's like, all right, we're going to Batman. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And he was like, we just did this. You're coming on the ride. I was like, that's incredible. And he was like, we go to do the next one. I think it's called like Thunderbolt or something. And he was like, listen, don't even pretend you don't want to do this one because you love the first two and you know the answer. So I was like, all right, let's go.
Batman is the best of the three.
Roped you in.
Batman's really good. We also did like this free falling type thing. It was pretty sick.
The one that you go all the way up and then just drop?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one, except for when I first get on.
Yeah.
Like after the fact, I'm like, that ruled. But when you sit there, I've never seen a line for this ride before, but the last time I went, there actually was a line. So when you're sitting there watching people go up and then come down, it's like, that sucks. And when you get strapped in, it sucks.
Right.
But when you actually do it, it is fun.
Usually,
Superman, I'm too tall for.
Also true. Usually you walk by and there is no line. Like there's just the people going so you can get on.
Right. Yeah. Like nobody wants to do it. It's like, fuck that. It's scary. Sorry.
We haven't started the actual recording yet. So
all right.
This is pregame chatter.
Okay. Good.
All right, we can't start that now though, so I'm glad you got it out of the way. All right. All right, y'all ready?
Let's do it.
All right. And we are back with another edition of How About Them Celtics Talkin' C's with Bobby Krivitsky of SI Media Group. Bobby, how you doing today?
Doing fantastic. Can't wait to get into all our thoughts, of which there are many, regarding All-Star Weekend. So both Saturday and Sunday's festivities.
Yes. We've got plenty of All-Star stuff to talk about.
Everybody. The answer is everybody does not love All-Star Weekend.
We did a video on it.
Stewing afterwards.
Was he really?
Yeah, he was upset.
Get ready to learn Chinese, buddy. Is that what he said to everybody?
Yeah, there might be some changes coming.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed it in a video that went out this morning on the channel, Bobby. We tested out a new thumbnail, and if you saw the thumbnail, you can see Sam's face is a bit frustrated on the thumbnail. The dunk contest is where we can start if you'd like, and the dunk contest sucked. That's just kind of it. Like it was bad. I didn't even watch it in real time. I had to watch the replay because I was out at the time, and it was just pretty not like good for the whole thing. Jaylen Brown was all right. Mac McClung did what I thought was like one super cool dunk and a bunch of like all right dunks. And I think part of it is just like we're blind to how impressive these dunks are at this point because we've seen them over and over again. But also like judges were bad, the broadcast was bad, everything was bad. Like it just sucked. It was just a bad product and it needs to go away. It's time. End it. No more dunk contest.
I agree.
So yeah, I'd be okay with no more dunk contest, maybe a 1-round competition. You could even keep it between 4 contestants at that point. Maybe it helps to get the star power back in it, but also it's a lot of people panning Jaylen Brown for his dunks. And if you're another superstar who's already conscientious about your brand and leaning towards not doing this, if you see that, it's not going to help the cause. At best, you don't care. It's not going to inspire you to go do this. So, yeah, I mean, that a huge part of it is that we've seen what feels like all of the dunks already. So it's not that these dunks were bad. It's just that they were highly unoriginal. And so they didn't, it's not going to captivate you. Jaylen Brown does a tribute to Dominique Wilkins. That's pretty cool. And it's an impressive dunk. Not many people walking the planet can do it, but we've seen it a billion times. So it's not going to move the needle to the audience. And I think we're hitting on something here that I want to get to after the dunk contest conversation. But that's my thoughts on that matter.
So the dunk contest, I've talked about this with a bunch of people now. So I'm starting to like really come up with like a thesis. The reason why the dunk contest sucks is, yes, for one, we've seen a lot of what is already done. Like everybody's done the dunks. All the dunks have been done. Super cool dunks are there. We're out of super cool dunks. However, the larger problem with the dunk contest is that there is no objective scoring. It's all subjective, meaning it's all opinion based. The judges will give scores based on what they think. There is no rubric for what makes a 50 versus a 45. It's just literally, hey, I thought this was cool. Hey, I didn't think this one was cool. They don't even have a wrinkle to it where if you miss a dunk, it's less points, which I think is the most important of all the rules. And people are crying all weekend about, oh, why did Mac McClung not get as many points for that throw it up to himself catch dunk that he did in midair? Well, he missed the first one. He literally missed it. If you miss a dunk, I don't care as much. Like, why don't you just do the coolest dunk ever and try 10 times, then make it? It doesn't matter. But if you come up with some kind of objective scoring, Jack and I did the pod yesterday. Horse. The best idea for a dunk contest. 4 guys, have them play horse, and that is the way you crown the dunk contest champion. It'll be fun. There's going to be anticipation to see what's next. Is this guy going to be able to pull it off, etc.? That's fine.
You don't even have to do dunks. Just play horse.
They've done that before.
Dunks.
Remember,
just play horse.
Rondo did horse at the All-Star weekend one year.
Yeah.
I do like the idea, though, of horse for the dunk contest where you have to match it.
Yeah. That's like the way to like see who had the hardest dunk or like the coolest dunk. If everyone else can do it, not that impressive. If nobody can do it but you, impressive.
And I think it becomes less about the originality of the dunk that way.
Exactly. It's just, are you skilled enough to do this dunk? It's not about who saw it before. I also like don't have like film in my head of all the dunks before. So like, I guess like we are becoming less and less impressed with certain dunks because I guess we see them over and over again. But on the broadcast, like Kenny Smith is just like, oh, that wasn't special. We've seen that. It's like, well, I don't know, Kenny. I watch this once every 3 years, maybe. I don't know. I don't care about all this. In him being absolutely flabbergasted that guys are not getting like 50s after they miss a dunk I'm over it. Like if you miss, it's not a 50. Plain
Kenny Smith also had himself a rough night. He was
terrible,
abysmal.
Kenny Smith just legacy night for Kenny Smith.
Horrendous
in the worst way.
It was
worst
awful.
way.
The whole night, the whole weekend, I should say, was pretty meh. Like 3-point contest was fine. Steph and Sabrina should have been better than it was, but Kenny Smith
I thought it was pretty good.
I thought the event was amazing, but Kenny Smith decided to taint it.
Right. Yeah.
Is what I meant. 3-point contest was fun. Skills challenge was all right, even though they
could scrap that. It's just horrible.
Just bring back shooting stars. Is that what it's called? Right? Like that's so much better. It's so much
I think
better.
that's the most fun event because there's like it's a race, but they don't do it right anymore. It's like a weird team thing, and
I like when they would do like a NBA player, a WNBA player, and a legend from that city.
Yes,
and you go all over. You try to get as most points in a short amount of time. That to me was much better than the skills challenge.
100%. They just got to switch it up. We were talking about potential like switch ups they could do for the All-Star weekend, and the thing I said, just don't do the same thing every year. People get bored. Change it up every year. Do something different. Sam said horse. We talked about like a 3v3 tournament where you split up into 8 teams, something like that. I talked about like 1v1, like have Tatum play LeBron, Celtics, Lakers, have Pacers play Bucks because they've been rivalry this year. Just do like little one-on-one games. Do anything that's different, anything that's not what is currently happening, because it is bad. It is objectively not good. Like Michael said, I agree. I think Steph versus Sabrina was the best thing, and they
Definitely.
still found a way to taint it. Like, just change it up. Just do something different and be better about it. Don't be stupid about the way you present these things. Like, Kenny Smith was terrible. The dunk contest judges were terrible, not because of the scores they gave, just because of the inconsistencies. And like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna have judges at an All-Star weekend, people should probably know who they are. Am I crazy? Right? Like, with all due respect to Indiana, maybe that's me. I don't know. The whole weekend was just bad. And then we talked about this on the episode we did this morning too, Bobby. There is no way to fix the All-Star game. There's no way to fix it because you can't pay these players enough to care. And why should they care? Sam said it yesterday. They already have a regular season problem. You think they're going to care about a meaningless All-Star game? No, no one's going to care. But I don't know.
So I'll start with, I think that regarding Saturday, I think that Steph versus Sabrina hit on what the new model should lean towards, which is these one-round competitions. You can make it whatever you want. It's probably going to be compelling. There's some stakes there. I love the crossover element of it. And so to me, that is something that is juicy. So I'd love for them to run it back. If they want to bring more participants into the mix, go for it. And you can, of course, do plenty of other quick 1, maybe 2 round competitions. And then horse for the dunk contest. I think you guys saved it there with that idea. As far as Sunday night goes, I look at it, and that's where I'd apply what you're talking about, Jack. I like the idea of expand the rosters, divide them up into smaller teams, and it's quick games where hopefully there's more exertion and more defense involved, and you just do round robin style tournaments.
See, we talked yesterday. I think this is $1 million, like, greatest idea of all time. What you do, and you can pick the teams any way you want to pick them. I'm not going to tell you to pick the teams. One thing I was like, what if you did them based on where you're from? Like, it's like Little League World Series, like New England, like New York, California, like hot spot, not New England, but like hot spots for basketball players to come up from. And then what you do is you do 16 teams, one night, one tournament. So you have to win multiple games. This is not an easy thing to win. So there is going to be some pride that comes along with this instead of it being a 48-minute all-star game, no defense, like, mess that we see every single year. Even if there is no true prize in winning this mini quick, like, Survivor Series type tournament, whatever you want to call it, it's going to have some merit because it's not easy. And these guys are all competitors. And even though you could say that for the all-star game, something that is more difficult is just going to bring out the competitiveness in these guys. Imagine Ant trying to win a 16-team tournament where he had to win 4 games in one night and then be able to tell everybody about it. Like, these guys would actually care about that. They should truly just scrap the game. And like you said, Bobby, 1-round competitions, make it a 2-night thing, or 3 nights if you want to include Friday, and just make it super fun. You could do one-on-ones like Steph versus Sabrina skills type competitions, and you can promote those. This was promoted for weeks and weeks, and everybody was talking about it going in, whether it was for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, it was still being talked about. Like, if you manage to capture that, it doesn't have to be man versus woman. It can be rivals, like Jack said. There are so many different avenues the NBA can go with this to make it more fun, and they just continue to fall back into the same boring slog, and everybody gets all bent out of shape every year when nothing changes. Like, oh yeah, big difference. We're going to go back to East-West. All-Star game saved.
It's terrible. The All-Star game sucked. They put up 200 points. Everyone complained that they didn't play defense. You don't blame the players because, like, why would they want to try? There's no incentive for them to try. It's a meaningless game. It doesn't matter. They shot 97 threes on the East team, which is like
Missoula nods.
Steph talked about it on the broadcast. He was like, all these guys complaining that the All-Star games are so high scoring now. Well, y'all didn't shoot threes back then. Like, what do you expect? What do you expect them to be? Like, you guys had to drive through 6 people in the paint to get to the bucket, and they're going to clog the paint. So, of course, there'll be more defense.
How the game was meant to be played.
Yeah, no.
There also
These
was
guys
more
can spread the
defense in
floor.
those all-star games.
Well, yeah, but I also feel like that's a byproduct of how easy, I don't want to say easier to play defense, but like there's less shots to guard and less talented players to guard, just objectively, in my opinion, at that point. I don't know. It's just, These players don't care. Like they want to win titles. They want to play an all-star game. Who cares? Like no one cares
But
about
that
y'all.
tournament would give you a title to win. And
Sure, yeah.
it would
Then
actually be like an individual accolade instead of like I think it would kind of accomplish what they want to do with this in-season tournament, but it would give it like a more like personal marketing brand like type thing that they could do with it instead of just like, yeah, now everyone's gonna say your Lakers in-season tournament title is Mickey Mouse, like, and they're gonna make fun of you for having a banner. Like, what if the players get like something cool, like an individual trophy? I don't know.
anything,
I
anything
think
they
if
can
you
do to
small
change
score,
it.
a bunch of games, I
Yeah,
think that would work.
just do it like every game to 5, and then the last game to 7, something like that, and you'd have something. It's just a matter of if the players are willing to do it, and even if they don't try like they do in the full game, there would be a little bit more trying because it is a condensed game, half court, like
Correct.
bigger stakes. So
Also,
And there
if
is
you
all
don't
the
try,
nobody wants to get hurt type of thing that goes into this too.
mhm.
yeah, of course. But also if in this type of a format you don't try and other people are, you might get embarrassed. Like if you're Luka Doncic and you're just walking through it, maybe you don't care, but if Anthony Edwards, to use your example, is like, hey, I want to win this and I want to get the MVP of the tournament, you're in trouble.
Correct.
Yeah, he's a run through you. He's gonna run through you. Any more thoughts on All-Star Weekend, Bobby? This one, potential fixes, Celtics involvement, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, anything like that?
Well, just from a commentary / some of the things we got to see off the court that happened. So Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, more so Tatum because he actually got to interact with him and Brown didn't, getting to meet Larry Bird for the first time is a cool moment if you're not just a Celtics fan, but I think if you're a basketball fan and love the history of the game. So that's a past and present great from an iconic franchise. So that's a pretty cool moment right there. And you have to wonder if there's any people within the Celtics organization where it sparked and planted this seed of let's really try and do what it takes, which means comp the flight and hotel to get Larry Bird back for a playoff game here because he was here in 2019 for that Celtics Pacers first round and the building erupted as you would expect. So I think the idea of having Larry Bird back and having him, Joe Mazzulla has been on, he's put a lot of work into rebuilding the bond and the brotherhood between Celtics alumni and the current team. And if you can add Larry Bird to the mix, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
I absolutely loved that Tatum got to meet him for the first time. What I did not love is, as comes with everything, the crying that came along with this. People online, Jack looking at me as if he has not seen the crying.
I have not seen the crying.
You have not seen the crying. So I don't know who is doing all this crying. I'd imagine it's just like the Muse accounts, the fan accounts on Twitter replying. But like Keith Smith had to do a post today where he was like, hey, everybody, it's not a problem that this is the first time the two are meeting. Like everyone's like,
I have
the
seen
Celtics have a problem if
question
they
how
haven't
could
had
that
Tatum
be?
meet Larry Bird yet. Well, Larry Bird, like, he just kind of hangs out. He doesn't want to be bothered. Like you said, Bobby, if it takes a flight comp and a hotel comp to get him out to the Garden, they should do it. He just doesn't want to be bothered anymore. He's retired. And that's okay. It's awesome that Tatum got to meet him. The only question mark that came up for me was your callback to 2019 where Bird was there. Like, if there was a time he could have met all of them, like, that would have been it. But even then, I'm pretty sure he was still with the Pacers in some capacity. So I don't think that was going to happen. But it was cool to see him there. It was cool to see the picture of the two of them. It looked like that Larry had some very positive things to say to Tatum. He looked almost proud of him, which was nice to see because there's this strange Larry Bird doesn't seem to like the Celtics thing that seems to be out there as a feeler, which is obviously because they chose Pitino over him back in the day to coach the team, which was a massive mistake. And since then, he's been very disconnected. He stayed in Indiana. He worked with the Pacers, coached them, and then took over in the front office. And I'm happy to see that he's showing some pride in what's going on with the Celtics, which is pretty cool.
I didn't see the crying, but it doesn't surprise me. People love to complain about
I
stuff.
just know it was there because multiple like meaningful Twitter accounts had to come out and be like, everyone stop crying.
Yeah. It was cool, though.
Go ahead, Jack.
It's cool to see them meet. No, it was just cool. It was just a cool moment to see those two finally meet.
Yeah, absolutely. And so a couple of those points you hit on there, Sam, it makes perfect sense. Larry Bird is not especially while working with the Pacers, about to go into the Celtics locker room before or after a playoff game and introduce himself and say what's up. He's not going to wish him best of luck. He works for the opposition at the time. And you're most likely to only find him in Naples, Florida, or Indiana. And also, he is the most supportive, I'd say, or as supportive as any retired player of his generation or older when it comes to supporting and genuinely enjoying the current iteration of the game and the new superstars that lead the way. I mean, he is genuinely a fan of the sport and loves it and praises them. He talks about how they're better than his era and all this stuff. And so it doesn't surprise me that when Tatum spoke afterwards about their quick interaction, that Tatum said that Larry Bird was excited to meet him and told him he's a fan of his game. At least Tatum said, that was crazy to hear. And so to me, I think Larry Bird, just his love of the game and how openly and enthusiastic he talks about it is refreshing, given that some of the other legends seem more interested in just denigrating and knocking down the way that it's played today. And then lastly, I also loved the unbridled, childlike enthusiasm from Tatum when he spoke about meeting Bird before the game with Jamal Crawford in that interview. And he was still beaming after the All-Star game when he got to the podium and discussed it. So that was cool to see as well with Tatum. Just the inner fan of him who grew up loving basketball came out in that moment.
It was fun.
Funny because, like, we talked about, Bird does not show face. So you have to imagine all of the legends Tatum has met. Like, he's involved with Jordan, so he knows Mike. He plays against LeBron, like Magic, all of these other, like Kareem's always around, at least a fair amount. Like, he's probably met a lot of everybody's top 10 except for Larry Bird. And for that to be like the final guy on the superstar bucket list, I guess you could call it, is pretty crazy considering that's the franchise you play for. And to have that kind of respect earned / approval from maybe the greatest individual player within the franchise is definitely like a dream come true for him, I think. Because Tatum now clearly takes pride in the team he's playing for. He wants to represent the uniform, etc. So the Bird thing must be just a huge dream for him.
He's taking all his records too. He's like, sorry, brother.
Bird
He's
was
mine.
Calm down a minute, brother.
Yeah, he's your mind now.
Turns
Sorry.
into Hulk Hogan. Listen, brother.
Yeah, that was a great moment. It was fun to see. Who cares that it was the first time they met? I don't like people just find stuff to complain about at this point. It doesn't make any sense. Bob, any more thoughts on All-Star Game? Did we miss everything? Did we hit everything on the weekend at the very least?
Well, I have a quote I'm pulling up here from Jayson that I think Celtics fans will particularly enjoy. I wrote an article wrapped around his and Tatum's answer on the subject. As a side note, before getting into it, forgive me for being distracted, but it is a bit surprising that they didn't. I don't remember if Jayson was there, but Jayson at least didn't meet Larry Bird when they did the 75th anniversary and they named the top 75, because they even had Jordan showed up last minute for that. So that seemed like as good an opportunity as any for those two to run into each other.
I don't think Larry showed up, did he?
He might not have. I don't remember seeing photos of him.
I don't think he showed up. I think he said nah.
That's wild because they got Jordan to come, and Jordan was at another event earlier in the day. But yeah, maybe Bird just didn't show up for it. As far as what I was saying, though, Tatum and Brown spoke afterwards about it was their first chance to team together in the All-Star game. And here's Jalen's answer verbatim, quote, "It was cool being on the same team as JT this time. It was pretty cool. We got the win and we had fun. I think it's just another platform to continue to raise for yourself, but also raise for the city of Boston. Just represent. I think that's what we kind of look at it as. That's what we've become. And as these two continue to share a legacy together on the court, to grow into adulthood in what's become their adopted city and a place that they talk about feels more and more like home to them. Jalen, when he signed the lucrative extension in the summer, his immediate thoughts were, how can I elevate this community? And with Jayson Tatum, we see him talk about the connection that he feels with this fan base. And he says both with the friendships I've forged in Boston and also people I don't know who come up to me at the gas station or wherever I might be. And they just express a gratitude that I really feel a bond with Boston and it's become home to me. And so to see the way that they the connection they've built with the city, and also how they feel about representing the Celtics and understanding that when you spend nearly a decade together on the same team at the face of it, that means a considerable amount for everything you do moving forward beyond just chasing a championship.
Yeah. I mean, Jack, you know this. I'm the biggest Celtics fan base. Think the fans care a lot, and I'm very happy to see the two faces of the franchise really feeling connected with all of us. I guess technically we're all still fans, even though we represent different outlets in the media. We still care about the team. Do we really think Tatum's pumping his own gas?
No.
Tatum is not at the gas station. I'm not even convinced Tatum's driving a car that takes gas. So that's neither here nor there. But just nice quotes to hear. I'm very happy to hear that they seem very satisfied with how they're treated and everything. And the impact that Jaylen wants to have within the city very much impressed me when he signed his deal in the summer. His immediate goal, like you said, was to improve where he's at, which I absolutely adored. So great on both of them.
Yeah, they've been great all season. It's been fun to watch them, I think, grow up over the years. Not that they were super immature or terrible to start with, obviously, but just the way they've matured and embraced being the leaders of a franchise has been fun and really great. And I think you're starting to see that now more than ever. Not ironically enough, but coincidentally enough, also during the season that they have been the best they've ever been. So I think those are two pretty good things that have falling in line with each other. So to see Tatum starting his brand or his project with SoFi, to see Jaylen going and supporting all these bills and going around the city and making that impact off the court, I think it's been great, especially because they're winning, and so people can't complain about it, which would undoubtedly be the thought process for a lot of people, and which sucks. But speaking of Tatum, we talked about this on a recent pod, Bobby, but you mentioned it to me, so we can talk about it again here. There's been a lot of Tatum MVP buzz in terms of people saying, I don't get it. Why is he not an MVP? So I saw someone on Twitter say, he's getting his case hurt because he's on such a good team and he's had so much success before. And the way I explained it, I was talking to my buddy, excuse me, about Tatum for MVP. And the way I phrased it was Shea hasn't had enough success to be knocked for not winning a title yet because he just hasn't been in the position yet, right? Jokic and Giannis already have titles, so they get the pass. It feels like people have just come to the realization that Embiid is not going to get past the second round, so they're used to the standard. So he's not impacted by his lack of success in MVP voting. And then Luka, I feel like it's a similar amount of criticism as Tatum, where they've had enough success without winning a title that they are going to get impacted on MVP voting. And then on top of that, Tatum's got a good team, so of course he shouldn't be the MVP, right? So there's just all these narratives coming together when in reality, he's averaging 27, 8, and 5 on the best team in the league. Not the best team in the league by a lot of it. And it's just how is this not a talking point?
Yeah, I also look at not only the sacrifice that Tatum's making, but as unsexy as it might be, the growth of his all-around game this season. It continues to happen, whether it's as a screener. He's taken significant leaps in recent years as a rebounder, but in just doing different things. I think as a facilitator, he's grown yet again from last season to this one. And so to me, there is the dynamic of, okay, his all-around game is getting better. So let's not just lock in on his advanced metrics or his points per game. And most importantly, what kind of I feel the strongest about is what Draymond Green hit on the broadcast the other night, which is that Jayson Tatum probably won't win MVP until he wins a title. And it's an unfair standard. And frankly, when Brian Windhorst says, I'm not giving you my opinion, I talked to other voters, and it is a fact that some of them hold the 2022 finals against Jayson Tatum trying to win the 2023-24 regular season MVP. That is ludicrous. So the double standards that come with there's no defined criteria, like we were talking about a rubric for the dunk contest, fine, that's going to be baked into a scenario like that. But the idea that past performances from 2 years ago are held against him for a different award right now, is just insane to me.
Yeah. When we talked about this, we did not have the whole NBA Finals affecting Tatum wrinkle to it. It was more about, I think like I'm more impressed with SGA just because that Thunder team is exceeding so much and he's the driving force behind it. And the Celtics are as good as they are, probably right where they should be, and blah, 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 blah. Even though it's not necessarily fair to grade Tatum like that because all the points you mentioned, Bobby, he is absolutely taking the leadership role in the Celtics team. He has sacrificed. He has grown his game beyond scoring, and he's really doing all the other things as well. But to have, the fact that he didn't win the finals 2 years ago affect this really isn't fair to him, even though I don't get it, but like I get it at the same time because you feel like he's let you down in a moment where it mattered. But even then, that's not fair because he's also not let you down.
Sam froze. I'll keep rocking while Sam.
Could have been
going.
a worse face to freeze on. Could have been like
what
one
I
eye
was-
open.
Yeah, what I was gonna respond to Sam was also like it's also been 2 years. Like with all due respect, and I know he hasn't won the final since then, so he hasn't quote unquote made up for it. But like it's been 2 years since that's happened. I'll let you continue, Sam. I was filibustering till you were back, but
Yeah, he is not like my Wi-Fi. He doesn't always let you down when you need him the most. Tatum shows up in the big games. I mean, Milwaukee, game 6, massive game on the road where he had 46 points to help extend the series. He steps up big boy game close in Philly in game 6 where he was non-existent for 3 quarters. And then all of a sudden he's unguardable in the biggest moment of that series. And then the next biggest moment in game 7, he has a 51-point game, most points ever in a game 7. I don't think it's fair to say he's not a clutch performer or doesn't show up in big games. I think the finals was a very unfortunate situation. I don't really know what to attribute to that. I don't think the lights were too bright. I don't think he's a lights are too bright guy, but he certainly wasn't himself. You could say he was suffering from a stinger, which I know was the narrative throughout that. But all of this chatter now where it's like Tatum, it's not fair that he's about to get excluded from the MVP again, almost makes me feel like he's about to get the MVP because everyone's like, you don't know ball if you're not voting Tatum for MVP now. Like that is what this is going to become. And then
there's no chance he wins the MVP. There's no chance he wins the MVP. I think this is all he should be in the conversation. And then everyone who is trying to be super cool saying they're in the conversation is going to go back to voting no, it's still SGA or Jokic, which I'm not going to complain if it's SGA or Jokic. I think those are fine MVP candidates. Like I think those are
too, buddy.
I do have a future on SGA,
yeah.
But I think those are fine MVP candidates. I just think the fact that people are overlooking Tatum for the reasons they are is egregious.
Yeah, that's my
point.
That's my point right there as well, Jack. And that's why we had this conversation on who we think should get the award last week. And forgive me, Sam, I can't remember if all three of us were in agreement, but I know that me and Jack both brought up SGA. And then we talked about, Jokic.
I was in.
It's probably not going to be him, but if you just look at it without emotion, he's right there in the mix. Embiid was playing like it. He got hurt. But yeah, so all three of us believe SGA deserves it to this point in the season. We'll see what happens after the All-Star break. So my thing is not, hey, Jayson Tatum should win the MVP, which like if you're a fan base and now your propaganda machine tries to go up against the other one that was counting him out. But like we hit on here, it's more just the reasons for why he's being discounted more than he deserves that I find to be just ridiculous and shouldn't come into voting on the regular season MVP. Past performances like that really should not be in the mix.
No, it shouldn't. Absolutely not. The reason why I really don't feel like it's Tatum, and I told this to Jack, and Jack had a great response to me, is just because I've watched him the whole year, and there was a month and a half, 2 months where I just didn't trust him or think he was playing that great. And Jack's response was, the people voting on this are not watching every single Celtics game and holding him to a high standard like you do. And it's fair to say that. And I'm not watching SGA every single game or Jokic every single game. And I know Jokic has had some single-digit games, but he's also had like monster assist nights on those days. He just hasn't been offensively aggressive. But like just watching Tatum, I was so unimpressed with him for like December and January. And it was just like, oh, like another lazy 3. Like I didn't think Tatum has played up to the level he's capable of to win an MVP. Like to win an MVP, you got to play for the whole season. He does this every year. He shows up from February forward and he's nasty. It's true. There is the Tatum calendar meme for a reason, and it is accurate.
I get it. Expecting a player to be perfect for an entire season is unrealistic.
Perfect is not what I'm trying to say.
It is absolutely what you expect.
I expect
Perfection.
to win an MVP to
Perfection.
play at an MVP level, and I don't think he played an MVP level for the 2 months that I'm referencing.
Right.
What month?
There's
What months? What months?
December for sure, in the first half of January.
He had a rough December. He shot 40% from 3 in January. You're insane.
Yeah, January J was cooking. But there's also a difference between, for example,
maybe it was November, December. I could be wrong.
There's also a difference between, for example, the Christmas game against the Lakers, where he was outstanding as a facilitator and he generated the most points off of screens, but he wasn't scoring much. And that's great from a team perspective and winning that day. It's not great for your MVP case. So there's a difference between the two there.
And the best part about Tatum is he doesn't really seem to care. He's more about the first part, which is winning as a team, which low-key is the, hey, you're actually the MVP because you care about helping your team win rather than putting up numbers. And to Tatum's credit this year, when the moment has called for it, he has completely changed his game, shifted to whatever the situation calls for, whether it's like you said, Bobby, being a main facilitator and helping everybody else score points, or when you're down 21 to the 3-win, 2-win Pistons and you need to mount a comeback, Tatum's like, okay, that's enough of this. I'm going to the basket literally every single time and I'm going to score and there's nothing anybody can do about it. And we've seen that happen in multiple occasions where he's just been like, that's enough. No more ISO ball threes. I'm going inside and I'm going to enforce my will. Now, I know, Jack, you will say without those 3-point attempts, you really can't always go to the basket because the defense has to be kept honest, which is very fair. But there is a praise that is deserved because he can turn it up and can be the most dominant guy on the floor if he has to, which is not something I think we've seen from him in years past, at least not in this respect.
Which I agree, but I think part of it is that he's doing it this year. But they're still holding past years against him in the MVP race, which is like the problem. I think a lot of people are trying to point to in this case.
I think there's a good argument for both sides.
Sure, I agree. Do you see No, I don't know what you're referencing, Michael.
Yeah, it's from Monica McNutt, who does a terrific job. But Michael, you're right. It was not a great answer on her part.
What was the context?
About?
It was when Stephen A was making his case for why he has Tatum atop the MVP rankings, and maybe that's genuine. Maybe that's him just zigging when everyone else is zagging and seeing an opportunity there. But he was talking about, why does Embiid's past playoff performances not get held against him? And she screamed out, because he scored 70.
I mean, Devin Booker scored 70 that one time.
It's true.
MVP.
You see KD
70 points with the help of a billion free throws, like it was a late game fouling.
They were taking timeouts while getting crushed.
Yeah.
You see KD put out a list of all the players he thinks are going to be the faces of the league when he's gone, and he named
he did
7 players and didn't say Tatum, and a lot of the Celtics fans are really mad.
LeBron named Tatum. For those who missed it.
Let me find it. He said
he named it. Now, look, I think if someone had said to him on the broadcast, what about Tatum? I don't think he would have said no. I think he probably believes it. He didn't come to mind, or maybe there was some pettiness there, but I think there was more. He just didn't think of him in the moment.
I wonder if it's because he's quiet.
He said Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who can become the face of the NBA after Steph and LeBron retire. He said Shea, Ant, D-Book, Luka, Tyrese Maxey, and Tyrese Halliburton.
Maxey, no. D-Book, no. Halliburton, maybe. Luka, yes. SGA, probably. Who was the last one?
Ant,
yes. He's got the personality for it.
It's going to be Wemby, though. Sorry.
LeBron named, Wemby's coming too, for sure. LeBron named Tatum, for those who might have missed it.
You guys see LeBron said he might not do a retirement tour?
Yeah, and then he said he hates attention.
Yeah. He's the best liar of all time.
He's a generational
Not
liar.
even the best, just like the most consistent, like always going to lie to your face of all time.
He's nothing if not consistent. Bobby, any final thoughts or anything else we missed that we want to cover before we do trivia?
I think we're ready for trivia.
All right. Well, I need to find the correct card because I am coming down to it, and I don't think we have many cards left, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
We might need to start a GoFundMe.
Chat, if you
to buy
guys
a new
have
set of
trivia
cards.
game suggestions, tell us.
Has to be
so we can-
Celtics, obviously.
It has to be, or it doesn't have to be, you said.
Has to be Celtics, obviously.
Yeah, I agree. It should be Celtics. But if you have any that you know of, tell us.
Let's see. No, that's lame. This is like name the entire 84 Celtics roster. That doesn't seem very fun. Patriots, I have. Nope, we did this one already, I think. I think we did this one, but I'll put it up just in case. Yeah, we're just running out of like cards that are good. We're running out of cards that like make sense to do.
We got to see if there's a different trivia deck of Celtics questions we can purchase.
Because these aren't all Celtics, which is the problem. So I'm like picking through some like Red Sox, some other stuff. I also dropped the cards a couple days ago, which was very frustrating. So they just went everywhere.
Jack drops the cards. It's like Kevin dropping the chili on The Office.
That's literally what it was. I dropped them like into the heater, and so I had to pick through everything.
Into the heater.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
How did you
It wasn't.
not put that on
No,
the
no, no.
rap list?
It's not like it's not like a giant heater. It's just like on the wall, like it's on the bottom of my wall. So it was like I could get them out easily. It was just a pain to like pick them all out. So it was fine. But all right, we've almost got one. Almost done. I'm just picking out a few that I could do. Did we do? I don't know if we've done this one yet. Okay. I've got a couple options here. We'll cook through these. Okay. I'm gonna let you guys pick. So I have one about coaches. I have one about scoring. I have one about defense. Or I have two about scoring, one about coaches, and one about defense. What do we want?
Let's do scoring. Coach is going to be a crapshoot, I think.
All right, let's
So
do scoring.
I have two about scoring, and I will pick one, and then if there's a tie, we'll do the other. So, I want you, so if I've done this before, you got to tell me because
Yeah.
I
Question?
haven't. Yeah,
Okay.
because I might not have done it. Don't look at the chat,
Oh,
obviously.
take
Sam,
the
if you
chat
have the
up.
chat up. Yep. 1-1, I believe, right? 1-1 in the series.
1-1.
Yes, sir.
I don't think I gave Bobby his one last time. All right. Let's see. I don't know which one I've done. Okay,
We'll
I don't
just read
think
it
I've
out
done
and
this
we'll
one.
tell you
Yeah.
if we've done it.
So through the 21-22 season, 7 different Celtics have scored 2,000 or more points in a single season.
No, we haven't.
I don't think we've done that.
Okay, perfect. We'll do that then. So through
Bobby's
the 21-22 season, Celtics have scored, or 7 different Celtics have scored 2,000 or more points in a single season. Who are those Celtics?
Paul Pierce.
Correct. Sam.
Jayson Tatum.
Correct. Bobby.
Larry Bird.
Correct. Rapid fire. Sam.
Havlicek.
Correct. Bobby. We're going back and back and back and back. Let's go.
Yeah, it's about to slow down, boys.
Yeah, this is where things slow down a little bit. No, Justin, that's not. He was not one of them. I'm reading the chat and answering that while you guys are pondering.
This could be a devastating guess.
Ooh,
Kevin McHale.
correct. On the board.
Oh,
Big.
Isaiah.
Yes.
Good guess.
There's one left. Bobby has a chance to win. Okay, I'm not. This isn't a spoiler, so I'm just gonna say it. Michael, it's not Gerald Green. I am sorry.
Damn it.
No, Justin, it's not that either.
Hmm.
I figured I could say that one out loud without spoiling anything for y'all.
Bobby's guess just went
No,
right up in
Justin.
the air.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
now that,
right.
Now that it's not Gerald Blow at the Cupcake Green, we're in no man's land.
No, John, not that either.
I think we're gonna have some misses.
I'm typing in the chat. Justin goes, dang it, I was close.
I was close.
All right, I gotta throw up a guess at this point. There's so many people who like come to mind, but I'm not immensely confident in any of them.
Mhm.
I I can't say anything more just in case it helps Sam. But
No one said in the chat yet. What do we got? Henry, no.
I'll take a chance on a man who once came through for me and has
I know
since
who he's gonna
not.
guess.
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones
That
is
would have been
correct.
my
Let's
guess
go.
too.
It's
So
Sam Jones.
You had to guess it.
I
It's
knew
reliable.
the other options I couldn't lead with.
Yeah, it's Sam Jones. That went fast.
So-
I want to do another trivia, but I feel like I don't want to
Zero
waste two
misses.
in one.
We only have so many cards left.
I know. Well, we can buy new. Let me. I'll go on.
I went on
live.
Amazon while we were looking. There's some.
Yeah. It's true.
The one that you used to have is the most fire that we already did.
I know it's too late. You can't do it though. It is the best one. I'll leave it up to you, Bobby. Though, do you want to do another card now, or do you want to save it and just do one a show?
I'm cool either way. So if Sam
I'm
has a
fine with
lean
it.
or whatever works for his
I'm fine with
schedule.
it. Especially if we want to get new ones, it's fine
Yeah.
because it was so fast. And I know
We'll,
the chat.
we'll
likes trivia a lot.
invest. We'll invest. I want to do the defense one because I think that's good.
Okay.
Did I lose the defense card? Is the question. Nope.
I'd like to perhaps next time get to coaching. I would like to see what that one's all about.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the defense one has 8 or no, there's 9 players, so there won't be a tie. But okay, cool. All right, one for Bobby, and we'll do another trivia since the people like it.
Okay.
And we'll do coaching for the next one. I'll put it on top of the card.
All right.
All right, question chat. I'll type the new one in the chat. Michael, the score is 2-1 Bobby in this series, but it's 1-1. They've each won a 7-game series. So we've done a lot of trivia on here. The question: through the 2021-22 season, 9 different Celtics have blocked 100 or more shots in a single season. Again,
Did we do that?
No, I don't think so. We did 7 blocks in a game.
That's what
yeah,
it
we've
was.
done some version. Again, through the 21-22 season, 9 different Celtics have blocked 100 or more shots in a single season. Who are they? I'm going to type in the chat. Let you stew for a second. Through the 21-22 season, have blocked. Feel free to guess whenever. I'm just typing.
Okay.
One
Robert
point every
Parrish.
game.
I'm just double checking. Correct. Yes, Robert Parrish on the list.
KG.
No.
Oh man, this is a disaster.
No, Kevin Garnett. 100 or more shots in a single season. All right. Go ahead, Bobby, whenever you're ready. Chat. I'll catch up with you if Bobby would like to guess now, then I'll get to the chat afterwards.
Tony Batty.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
come on,
Not Tony
Batman.
BT.
We're back.
Henry, yes. Justin, no. Again, another Michael guess that I can say out loud. Unfortunately, Derek White is not correct. Respect, though. Respect. And no as well to you, Justin, as well. All right.
100 shots, single season.
No, Dave.
I'm going to guess Perk.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay,
I was going to
perfect.
guess him, and then I thought Batty could get me out in front.
Correct. Michael, no, not Brandon Bass either. Respect, though. No, Jimmy J, not up there.
Rob Williams.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to
Correct.
guess Rob. It's a good guess.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I will guess Kevin McHale.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes! Kevin
the
McHale
list.
is the poison-pilled guess.
On the list, correct. No, Justin, no, Michael, no, none of those guys on the list. Michael, you're killing me, brother. Go ahead, Bobby. Back to you. 5 left on the list. I'll start dishing out clues in a couple rounds if we'd like, but yeah. No, Jimmy J, he didn't get there.
Dave Cowens.
Yes, on the list, correct. Sam.
I think this one has definitely been guessed in the chat, but I'm going to say Al Horford.
It has been guessed in the chat, and
And
it
it
is
was wrong.
incorrect.
Was it
Yeah,
Jimmy J's guess
unfortunately.
that you just said?
I think it was a Jimmy J guess, but it's not
Yeah.
the one I just said. Yeah.
This is bad.
Yes, Jimmy J, that's correct. He's got one. No, not Kemba. Michael, come on, man. Horford, for what it's worth, in a Celtics uniform, his most was 92.
I knew it was going to be in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. His most in the season is 121 with Atlanta, though, so he's capable. It's just
He's definitely capable.
back to you, Bobby.
I know. It's just, how many names are there total? 9?
9, so there's 4 left, yeah.
Oh, boy. Really, really stinks that Tony Petit wasn't on this list.
Justin, Kemba's playing for AS Monaco right now in the French league. We had a Kemba question in the chat.
Shout out Kemba.
I don't know how he's playing, but I know he's playing.
Jabari,
What are we thinking,
game
Bobby?
winner. Was it like a month ago, roughly, something like that?
Yeah, a little while ago.
Sidestep 3.
Yeah. What are we thinking?
So
No
tough.
Dave. No Michael. No Henry. No Jimmy. And no Michael. The answer to your question is no.
You know, I don't love any of the potential options here, but I will take a chance on Paul Silas.
No
Didn't
Silas.
think so.
Sam, you got something in the chamber?
I'm going to guess. I'll guess Dino Rajda.
That's been a guess in the chat, but it's not right.
Disaster.
Jimmy J, I'll start giving out clues after this round. So we'll do one more from Bobby, one more for Sam. Unless you guys want clues now.
It is the start of a new round. I'd be
I'm
open
fine
to
with
Sam.
clues.
Okay. Let me see who we have left. Of the people we have left, I'm going to double check one so I don't misspeak. I believe. Yeah, I was just making sure I'm not crazy. 2 are Hall of Famers.
4 left, 2 Hall of Famers. Okay.
And I'll give clues on the other 2 eventually, but I'll leave it there for now.
2 are Hall of Fame.
No, Michael. No, John. No, Justin. Marcus Thornton. No, Michael. No.
What a
sorry.
name drop.
I know, right? No, Henry, not that either.
Not a Hall of Famer, but had a good rookie season. So I wonder if Eric Montrose got his name on this list.
Is that a guess?
That's a guess.
Not correct, but was in the chat. That was a name thrown around in the chat. Who said that in the chat? Someone's dropped Montrose early, or at some point. Not Phil Pressey. Someone dropped Montrose. Dave, yes, that is one.
I'm going to
pull.
guess Marcus.
No, Marcus. No,
That would be an awesome one, though.
that would be an insane season of blocks.
I know.
You'd have to average like 1.3 blocks.
Trying to get creative.
I know. His most in a season, 34.
Yeah, bad guess. Terrible guess.
It's just a lot. Even for Derek White. No, not Tyler Zeller. Bobby, back to you.
Might as well guess him because we're talking Hall of Famers now. Bill Walton.
Yeah.
Damn.
Bingo.
I was going to guess him too, and I elected not to. That's terrible.
Just felt like I couldn't wait anymore to throw his
On the
name into the
board.
mix.
Disaster.
Sam, back to you.
Another Hall of Famer, huh? We got one more.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 non-Hall of Famers.
I'm double checking that both were non-Hall of Famers, so I'm not crazy. Yeah, okay, I'm not crazy.
Okay. I'll guess Larry Bird. I'm just going to start pulling.
Not Larry, sorry. Yes, John. Bingo on the board. Bobby, back to you. Correct guess seals it.
Not really anyone that comes to mind.
Oh, wait a second. Did I give you false information? There are 2 not Hall of Famers. Wait, did I correct?
You said there were 2 Hall of Famers and 2 that aren't.
I know. I think I might have been wrong. Am I counting wrong? Sorry. When I said 2 Hall of Famers, I was counting perish, but that is correct. Who am I missing on this list? Why am I? Sorry, no more Hall of Famers on the board. I am so sorry. That's on me.
I just got
And,
screwed.
Well, you also, I don't feel bad because you get some Marcus Smart, so I don't feel bad. Also terrible. Okay.
I literally just spurred because I was like, how many Hall of Famers are there?
I know. That's on me. But again, I don't feel bad because you guessed Marcus Smart. So that was also like you had one guess you got screwed by and one guess that you wasted yourself. So
I still wasted. Yeah, I still got screwed.
all right, you're right. Cry more. My bad.
All right, I'm willing to submit a guess. Alton Lister.
Not all.
That would have been electric.
All right, after Sam's guess, I'll give another clue and I'll make sure it's correct this time. My bad.
So no more Hall of Famers.
No more Hall of Famers. My bad.
This is a catastrophe. No. Sorry, I'm trying to think through.
Yes, Justin. What a guess. Wow. Justin just got the one I think no one will get.
Text me, Justin.
No.
He doesn't have.
No, Jimmy. No. No, Henry. No, Michael.
These are definitely just Dark Ages guys that I'm just not aware of. I don't even know they existed. This is terrible. I'm gonna pass.
Okay. Do we want a clue?
I'm not gonna. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll take the clue.
All right.
I'm not gonna sit here and just milk.
I'm gonna double, triple check my work this time so I don't screw anybody again. One All-Star, one All-NBA player, one that was nothing.
An all-star and all NBA.
Yes, Michael. Michael Collin. Wow.
Vitaly Potapenko.
No, but that would have been electric
been
if that was on
awesome.
the list.
That would have been a catastrophe for me.
That would have been crazy.
I would have been devastated.
Wow.
All NBA. I think this person's a Hall of Fame. So I guess them. Oh.
This is a good card. That's why I like this card.
Just at a loss. Like these are doing nothing for me. This is so bad. By the time it does anything, it's going to be like obvious.
Michael, for what it's worth, the other guess you guessed when you started trying was one block away from being on this list. So it was a very good guess. Maybe not, Dave. I'll give a clue to get them to that one too.
This is so bad. I'm gonna pass again.
I might as well guess then. Rafe LaFrance.
No Rafe LaFrance. I'll give a clue after Sam's guess, just so we have to do it at the start of the next
Yeah,
round. I know
yeah,
Sam.
yeah,
I know
sure.
Henry. Sam's gonna be upset he didn't get one.
That's a clue right there.
Sorry. Well,
Fucking clue.
Yeah,
Well,
but you
I can
you
tell
screwed
you-
him earlier, so that's,
yeah. Relatively, it's not like. Anyways, I'll shut up.
I'm gonna guess Tice.
No, but he was guessing the chat. He, I think
nervous
he
for a
got kind
second.
of close. He got kind of close. He got to.
He's a decent shot blocker. That's why.
All right. I'll give a little bit of a clue. He got to 84.
Ugh.
You both definitely know two of these players. You probably know all three, but you definitely know two of these players.
Okay.
Like absolutely know two of these players. I say that because I absolutely know two of these players, and if I do, then you both definitely do. No, John, you didn't get there that season. I love the cards where it makes y'all think.
I mean, this one is pushing it.
I have a guess.
Oh,
But you know two of them. I'm sorry to second guess my guess.
just pull. You're both stuck.
It's not my turn.
I know. Well, I know, but like in general. That's a good clue, Henry. Maybe I'll go with that too. I just don't want to make
Both
it too
elite
obvious,
players.
especially because I already messed up a clue earlier.
This is riveting.
I don't want to pass. I don't want to pass. Oh boy. I mean,
I'm gonna have to press you for an answer here in a
I
second.
know. I apologize to everyone, especially Michael Hilly, who finished this question very quickly.
What are you thinking?
I got to pass. I have no names coming to mind at
Sam?
least none that I'm willing to guess.
Can I ask you a question about your hint?
Sure, and Bobby can determine if I'm allowed to answer it.
Okay. Do you know them as Celtics, or you just know them as NBA players?
Can I answer, Bobby?
Yeah, you can answer it.
I know who both of these players are. I know it's different for it's different.
Okay.
Based
I'm
on
not
the
gonna
person.
press you. I'm not gonna press you.
It's different based on the person, but yes, I know. I objectively
Okay.
know who two of these players are, and I know of the other one.
You know of
No,
the
Joe.
other
Oh,
one.
I know one of them.
Uh-oh.
Fuck. Now I really have to get a good guess. Screwed myself. This is a catastrophe.
Unless you get the one Bobby's
Artist
thinking of.
Gilmore.
Mm-mm.
Fuck.
No, it's
Good.
Gilmore.
It's a good guess, though. Also, might be wrong on this because Sam, you can determine if he can answer. There are no Hall of Famers left on the list.
No, there's no Hall of Famers.
Let me double check my thing. There's no Hall of Famers.
Okay, just making sure here.
Yes.
It was such a good one too, but I mean, he had to have made the Hall of Fame. So
I don't. I might have glossed upon this player before too, Bobby. I have an idea of who you're thinking.
Yeah, I'm excited to. Either one of us will guess it, or we'll just say the name afterwards. But it does stink because without him, it wasn't like I had 5 other options behind it. You know what? I'm going to guess it just to see because, again, I don't have answers.
Michael's commentating in the chat. I love it.
Michael, I apologize. We're letting you down right now. No, I did because he's definitely in the Hall of Fame, so I can't guess it. It's just killing me.
I need to start putting like a 30-second timer on the board.
We need more than 30 for this one. We need the full minute. All right, so there's an All-NBA, an All-Star, and a nothing, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After I messed up the first clue, I'm like, I need to double check everything though, because now I feel bad.
I am prepared to guess.
And Bobby, I'm gonna have to push you.
Guess is a very loose term. I wouldn't get worried.
Henry goes, Sam's feeling the pressure.
I'm not going to pass.
Henry said Sam's feeling the pressure and struggling to think.
Damn.
Damn.
It's a shame because I'm not going. You know what? All right, I'll guess this person, but I know he's in the Hall of Fame, and it's wrong. So Sam, this is who I was thinking of, even though I'm so confident he's in the Hall of Fame, and this is wrong. Bob McAdoo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I would have been devastated.
He's not on the list.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
I would have been.
I didn't feel confident enough. I know it would have.
I'm gonna guess Antoine Walker.
No, Twan. Sorry. That's been guessing the chat.
AC Earl.
No AC Earl. I love that we're firing, though, fellas. I love that we're firing.
Since we're firing, I'm just gonna guess Amir Johnson. I know it's not the right
answer.
Amir
Johnson.
I did think of him.
Bob McAdoo, also never a Celtic. Or never mind, one season as Celtic. Sorry. It was just really far down the list. My bad. He played half a season with the Celtics.
He was notably a miserable Celtic. That's why.
I know, but he only played 20 games or
he was the original Kyrie. 11 and everything.
There's a backstory there of the owner at the time was John Y. Brown, and I can't remember her name. She was famous. His wife was like, I really like Bob McAdoo. And he traded a bunch of stuff without talking to Red Auerbach to get Bob McAdoo.
Tough. Dave, that clue would be too obvious though, because that's I can't give a clue that's too obvious because then it's too big of an advantage to Bobby.
I don't think this person was a shot blocker, and I don't think he was that good as a Celtic. But given where we are and how long our pauses have been, Ed Pinkney.
No Ed Pinkney.
Come on, Ed.
Thank goodness.
Michael, it keeps going into OT. It's in the 7th overtime.
It is in the 7th overtime.
It might be more. It's a marathon game.
All right. Next round, I will give another clue.
Okay.
After Sam goes.
Let me look at the list. I'm looking at the list just to see if I get sparked or inspired by any.
Oh, I was like, what list are you looking at?
He's just been slow play this whole time, but he's got the.
I'm going to give something like that, Henry. I'm going to give a similar ish.
Wasn't that person? All NBA, an all-star, and a nobody.
Mm-hmm.
I'll guess Xavier McDaniel.
No.
I'm going to submit a guess rather than take the clue.
Okay.
As insane as that is. Mark Blount.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just say the other ones. The round.
Reggie Lewis?
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I know he blocked MJ a few times in a game.
This is the one Henry thinks Sam might be mad at. Al Jefferson got it when he was
No, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm mad that I didn't even have him cross my mind, but that's why I'm not mad.
As soon as Bobby says Mark Blount, Sam's like, no.
Just these fucking dark age, early 2090s guys always fuck me. I have no knowledge of that.
Lots of editing for Jack. Let's go.
Sorry.
Let's go.
I'm not the only one.
But no, that dark age, there's so many. Like, I didn't think of Tony Batty when you guessed him that one time. And then afterwards, I was stewing like, how did you forget about Tony Batty? But those names just don't come to mind quickly.
Correct. All of them. Yes, we're good. Got it. The other
I am glad we were both thinking about Bob McAdoo for that one answer.
Bob McAdoo, I thought of earlier, and then when I think it was after I found out there were no more Hall of Famers left, I was like, well, I can't guess him.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's my bad.
I didn't have anyone else loaded and ready to go, so I figured I might as well try it.
I had to look in the chat, see what was said.
Probably got roasted.
Probably did.
No one got
Chris Humphries.
I think everything was got, actually. I don't know if somebody got Reggie Lewis.
That's amazing.
No, Dave got Reggie Lewis. Dave got Reggie Lewis. Yeah.
Shout out Dave.
He got let me double check. He did it one season and he had like 103, 105.
Wow.
He got it. Yeah. 125 steals, 103 or 105 blocks. Big year for Lewis. Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts, Bob, before we get out of here?
I think we covered it all. Happy to walk away with 2 wins. You know, the first one was rapid fire. No one got anything wrong. And the second one, that's what you tuned in for, people.
We got all the ones wrong.
More marathon game.
It's had nothing.
You'll see it on ESPN Classic tonight.
All righty. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in for trivia. Make sure to subscribe to How About Them Celtics. Check out Bobby's work at si.com/Celtics inside the Celtics. And I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our live streams or daily videos. Talkin' C's coming at you Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Friday will be live. Full pods Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and we're filling in the rest with all kinds of content. Again, make sure you check out Bobby's work inside the Celtics for SI Media. He is boots on the ground at all of the home games, at the practices. He's going to give you the good information. You can also reach out to us via email, hbtcpod@gmail.com. If you do that, we're going to record the pod today. So I think we've gotten a ton of emails. I know Matt was in the chat. He was like, I sent you guys an email. So thank you. We do love reading your emails, so definitely reach out. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. Our live streams are there and on YouTube and on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is at JackSmonNBA. Bobby's is at Bobby Kravitsky. Mine is at Sam LaFrance. NBA. That's it for us.